We're Chris and Zac. We quit our jobs in corporate tech to make video games. We're making a wizardly sandbox shooter where chaos reigns, physics are a suggestion, and the goal is to outwit your arcane adversaries. This is that game's story. Welcome back. We recently talked about Unconquered, a game that Zac and I worked on for over a year and then eventually canceled. Now, pulling the plug on a game absolutely sucked, but that year taught us a lot. And so we've taken those lessons learned and we went back to the drawing board. For this next game, we needed to scope down into something that we could actually finish in a reasonable amount of time, and something that Zac and I can do, just the two of us. That meant working within some really strict constraints. 1, minimize assets. We can't drown in stuff that we suck at. 2, lean hard into our strengths. Zac can solve hard code problems. That and overcommitting to the bit are kind of his whole thing. I can crank out pages and pages of story at speed. Am I the best writer on the planet? No. Did my first novel get pretty good reviews? Mostly. Our core premise needs to rely on one of these two strengths. 3, embrace whimsy. Unconquered dealt with a lot of heavy topics. We'd like a palate cleanser, something stupid and goofy, whimsical. So we kicked around a bunch of ideas, and some of them were actually pretty good. Some of them will probably be video games at some point, but we can only choose one. So this is where we landed. What if we build a 3D multiplayer game? Is that a stupid idea?
All ideas are stupid unless they work out, in which case they're genius.
He has a point. Okay, hear me out. As both a gamer and the father to a teenage gamer, I've put in about 1 billion hours into first-person shooters. But I still have a soft spot for Unreal Tournament from 1999. Ultra kill. Especially once you slap on a bunch of wacky mods. Double kill, multi-kill, ultra kill. What if we take UT as the base of this recipe and add a big, fat twist? Unreal Tournament, but it's wizards. Yeah, I know, 1 million games have wizards in them, but I don't mean wizards from a thematic sense. I mean wizards as problem solvers. Here's where the idea clicks. Most shooters just give you a couple of tools in your toolkit. A few guns, a grenade, and then there's the whole meta of which guns are best for what. Hero shooters give you a list of mixed abilities around a character theme. Battle royales and arena shooters tend to be about exploring and looting your way up to a good loadout. UT is on the upper end of the weapons range with a dozen weapons at once. And there's a reason for this limitation. Any more than that, and you'd never be able to manage that many abilities. Heck, even Minecraft limits you to 9 slots in the hotbar. But magic should be a big freaking toolbox. A wizard doesn't have a dozen spells, he needs dozens of spells. A wizard should be like a Swiss Army knife of magical abilities. You only really see that in tactical games, though, where you have time to freeze the action and optimize your strategy. Because giving a player 35 abilities in an FPS is a matter of ergonomics. But just assume that we could solve that in a slick, intuitive way, where the controls are simple, but more importantly, the ability concepts are easy to internalize. If we could accomplish that, we'd end up with a really interesting sandbox game where players battle it out with their wits. It's not about who has the better gun or the better loadout. It's about being clever, collaborative, and occasionally launching your friends out into the void. A wizard should be able to mess with the terrain, earth magic, summon stone pillars to make defenses, or staircases up a cliffside. There should be crazy magic mobility mechanics, spells that fly you across the map if you can do it right. Yeet your friends, yeet your enemies, go all airbender. You should have all the classics like fireball and wall of fire and water magic to counteract them. Ice magic should freeze people, or make a slip and slide to send your enemies into the void. And that's just a sampler of what we came up with. It's a game that encourages players to break it in weird and interesting ways. Now, implementing these kinds of mechanics means a lot of wacky math and physics processing. But coming from a computer science background, that's really not that scary. Drawing is scary. No, we can't just have these wizards fighting for no reason.
You can't not have lore.
So a group of wizards at the College Arcana get into a big argument.
Yeah, about which condiment is the best reagent.
About something. The point is that they cause a ruckus and piss off the Sorcerer Supreme, who banishes them to a pocket dimension on the liminal plane until they can sort things out.
Magical detention in the back rooms of the universe, just like the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, but instead of settling their differences, they just end up fighting over whose fault it is that they got banished.
Then it goes all Lord of the Flies instead of Lord of the Rings.
Right, thus the magical violence. The thing is, because this is a pocket dimension on the liminal plane, anytime one of them dies, they just reappear and the cycle continues.
Oh, tell them about the announcers.
Right, so you've got these other two characters that are watching from the outside through a scrying ball, like a wizardly Statler and Waldorf. They're just heckling the whole time.
Yeah, and instead of death messages, you get mocked by your peers.
It definitely adds some flair. So there you go. We're making a game that is somewhere between a manic magic sandbox and a goofy arena shooter. This might not be the game that goes big and changes our lives, but it's a fun game and we can absolutely get it across the finish line. Right now, it's not about trying to make it big. It's about making it to the next game because we'll only get better at this. We learned so much from Unconquered, and we'll learn a lot from this one too. So now I just need to learn 3D modeling and animation. How hard can that be?
Okay, I got you. Well, here's the thing about stupid ideas. All right. All ideas is stupid unless they work out, in which case they're genius.
Actually, I think that's the take.